Am I recording now? I'm recording. Okay. So I've got, okay, so I've got the, and I'm going to run these now. All right. So now I've just imported those two files. Okay. And we can check. You can just check file readable, and try readable, just to see. True. And see file readable. True. Okay, so I've got these two files. I can't actually read these yet. I have to get that, I have to do the read lines, right? So here so next I've got the files though. Now my next step is to read, well, I can just include this, yeah, import files, sorry, and data. Okay, so here, keywords. To get my keywords, I'm gonna take those from K-file. And what's the function I use to grab do you remember the function I used to grab the text from a file? So I take the file, yeah, so I take the file and I'm going to use read lines. Okay. Oops, sorry, that shouldn't be marked down, it should be code. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to run that. Okay, and then I can look at my keywords, I can just run that, and they're my keywords, right? So that just read the keyword one line at a time. Now it's got those like nasty \ns, because in my text file, I wrote the keyword and then I entered, right? And then I entered. So that's what those are the enters, but I'll show you how to take care of those. And then for my corpus, right, I'm going to do the same thing, but instead of K file, now I'm reading the lines from my C file, right? I run that. And this should give me like what I'm familiar with, my Wikipedia one, right? Okay. I'll give you a chance to catch up. Are we up to? Tell me what line you're getting stuck on. Like which line? C file? K file? C file here? Or this up here? Are you getting errors? Which one? C file open? Here? Is it when you do C file open that you get the error? So the most likely problem for the error is if the file name is not the same as the file name in your folder, right? So here I've got keywords.txt, and then here I'm opening up keywords.txt. If this file name here is not the same, here's the file which is open, keywords.txt, and it's saved right here, right? So are we able to open keywords file? Is that working okay? Okay, and are we able to do this one? That's okay? Is that okay? Usually okay. All right, how about you? Let's go back to the directory. at the very bottom. Go down, all the way down. You don't see that. Is that file there? So it's actually easier to, it's hard to manipulate files in that format. If you go to your directory, like not your Jupyter Notebooks one, but your actual Mac terminal or like your Mac directory. Oh, there it is. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, so that file needs to be in the other directory, in the other folder. It's easier to do it outside of Jupyter Notebooks just using your Mac. Yeah, your Finder. Just go find that file in the Finder and move it to the right folder. Okay. Okay. How about you?
I'm stuck.
We stuck? Is this one worked okay?
I don't know. I stuck anything. Please don't run out.
So this keywords text should not be a Python file. It should be a text file. So if you go out to here, yeah, new text file, and call it keywords.txt. Oh, it already exists. Okay. So you've already got one called that. So that's fine. So just, okay. So wait, so go here and then go back to that, open up keywords.txt. Okay. And then that one working? Just try to run it. Okay, so let's go back out to the directory. The directory where you can see the list of files. Oh, maybe here, sorry, this one. Yeah, so that, go scroll down. So that Python, that 5.3 file needs to be in the same folder as this folder. Yeah.
But it's in the same folder, like in downloads.
I don't see it. Where is it?
Keywords?
Not keywords, the 5.3. Keywords it's finding fine, but it's the day 5.3 file that wasn't opening. Go back to your code here. Here, so this is the file that you're not able to open. No, it's not this one. We want the file we want is 5.3, the Wikipedia fruit file.
Oh, where is it?
I don't know. Where is it?
I mean, where can I find it?
So wherever you saved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and make sure you save it to the same. So the file management is like essential, right? And I think part of this is why you don't want to be doing coding out of download folder. You want to have a designated folder, right? When I do mine, I have a designated project folder, and then inside the project I have a designated data folder and a designated script folder, and I put the data in the data and the scripts in the scripts. And then like you have to keep that very clearly in your head, like on your system, where is your script file, where is your data file, and those have to be, you have to know exactly where those are so that you can open them up properly, right? So
I have this one.
you have to save that file. Go back to that file. I think just okay, save. Okay, and then here, run it. Go up to the top here, run it. And then run here. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, so we've got these keyword file, we've got the corpus. Now, both of these files have these like \n's at the end of them, right? We want to get rid of those. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this using a list comprehension. So I'm going to write a list. Okay, so this is a list comprehension, right? It's a list with a for loop inside of it. So we talked about this a little bit at the end of last week. So I'm going to use a list comprehension to remove the \n. Actually, to remove like all white space from my strings. White space includes like actual like white spaces or \n's or other kinds of stuff, right? So, so for a list comprehension, it's a way to take an old list and to process it to make a new list. Okay, so you do that by creating a list with a square bracket, and then you put a for loop inside of there with 4k whatever elements in the list, right? In this list that you want to go over. And then on the front side here, you can do stuff to k, right? And whatever you do to k here, it's going to save that as an element in the new list. So what do I want to do to all of these k's? What do I want to do to each of these elements? I want to strip the white space off of them, right? And there's a function, the function for stripping white space is called strip. Okay? And it's a function that you can run on a string. So here, here in front of the for loop, I'm going to write k.strip like that. So it's going to run this, it's going to run a for loop over keywords, right? Plant, seed, tree, banana. For each item k in the keywords, I'm taking k and I'm stripping it of white space. And then it's going to save that as a list. So, and I'm saving that as keywords again. So I'm basically writing over keywords because I want to just like, I want to rewrite keywords without all those extra things on the end. Right, so I'm going to run that. And now keywords are my clean, right? Now they're clean. They don't have the \n, right? I'm going to do that exact same thing to corpus, right? Using the list comprehension. So go ahead and try that. You've got it. You've got corpus here. Oops, if you run that read file lines, when you read file lines over a file, like it pops them. So if you do it twice, they're not there anymore. So if you do that, you have to run it again. Okay, here's my corpus. So I'm going to do the list comprehension again. List comprehension to remove all white space from my strings. Here's corpus. And it's going to be, I'm going to run it over corpus. And I have to change the k. So, okay, so for k in corpus, for each string in corpus, I'm taking that string and I'm stripping it of white space, and then I'm saving that as a new list, right? Okay, so now corpus should be like that. Okay. Now I want to do another list comprehension over corpus. And this is more data processing, right? So a list comprehension to remove all empty lines from corpus. So for now, if I run length of corpus, right, I have 361 lines. But you can see in corpus, like some of these are empty, right? Like here's an empty one, here's an empty one, here's an empty one. I have a lot of empty lines in Corpus. So I can run another list comprehension here, Corpus. For K in Corpus. So in this case, I don't want to actually change K. I just want to include it only if it's not an empty line, right? So in this case, this part of the list comprehension will be the same. So it's K, 4K in Corpus, but instead I need to put I can put a conditional if statement here. So so here I'm running through every line of Corpus, and I'm going to include it in my list if it satisfies some condition. And what condition does it need to satisfy? What's that? Yeah. So how can I test that as an if statement? How can I do a logical test on that? Uh-huh. What will the length be if it's empty? Uh-huh. So I don't need to delete it. Here I need to just choose it if I'm going to include it in the list if it's bigger than 0. Okay. So I'll just do here if length of K is greater than 0, right? Then so it looks a little complicated. Here's an if statement, right? But the core of the list comprehension is here, 4K in Corpus. 4K in Corpus, I'm just going to include it in a new list. I'm not going to change it or anything. I'm just going to include it in the list if the length of K is greater than 0, right? So this if statement using with the for loop together, right, is really nice because it lets me take each element of the list, look at it and conditionally decide if I want to process it or not, like include it or in the list or not. And then like if I want to change something, I could also change it, right? So in this case, I don't want to change it. I just want to like keep it as it is if it's greater than 0. So we'll run that. Okay, now the length of Corpus, we can compare and see we just dropped from 361 to 275 lines, right? So 25 plus 61 of those lines were just empty lines, right? And we didn't need to process those. That would have like really, if somehow we'd been counting things, that would have like really screwed up our counts, right? This is a waste of time. Okay. So lastly, I'm going to buzz through this like next part pretty quickly, right? So you've got the keywords. What we want to do is convert these keywords to a dictionary. And then we want to run a for loop over every line in the corpus and update our dictionary if the elements are there. I think probably we don't have time for that. So yeah. So I will upload it to our Moodle page, right? And I have this file, and I'll upload the Wikipedia text file and also the keywords file, right? And those three, and then you can run over it. Between this Friday and next Friday, like I want everybody to have their corpus, right? And if you're having trouble with that, like I have no idea, I don't know how to download my corpus, like come find me. Like I don't know what corpus I'm going to use, definitely come find me. Like what's a corpus? Like okay, so between now and next Friday, that's up to you, right? But come and find me. Like I will spend the time with you. I'll make sure we do it. But like between now and next Friday, I want to be doing this on your corpus, not on my corpus. I mean, yeah. So we might be able to do it on Zoom together. Yeah. But either way, like whether Zoom or in person, like just definitely contact me, because if we're in this point next Friday and we're still using my corpus and not yours, like you're gonna get behind, right? Yeah. So next week we're gonna do this keyword count stuff on your corpus. That's the goal. Okay. All right. Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording this for this academic internship, and we're gonna take about a 5-minute break for everybody on Zoom, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes for the Python 102 tutorial.